Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular NEWSMAX Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of NEWSMAX shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the NEWSMAX Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
They have accused the President Trump, of everything except abandoning his children to wolves. They daily call him a racist and a Nazi. The Democrats are angry. They're angry for two reasons. They're angry because President Trump won the election. The American people spoke. My Democratic colleagues need to just drink a big old glass of get over it, and let's move on.
Amen. Hey, let's listen to some Christmas music, shall we? About the drug boats. From Jim Gunn.
Excess winning, he is thinning out the drug dealing trade. In the air, bombs are dropping on drug boats. Venezuelans, they are failing
It's raining men.
to get fentanyl through. And in most every ocean, you'll hear.
What'll you hear?
Exploding boats.
Exploding boats.
Exploding boats.
Exploding boats.
Taking out all their drug shipments.
All the Democrats' boyfriends.
Maduro's sad. Been hurt bad. Soon he will be overthrown. Bombing boats.
Say hello to my little friend.
They're drug boats. More will be blown up today.
There's nothing you can do about it. It sucks to be you Democrats, and you realize that it's absolutely awesome, and you can't do anything about it because you guys are a bunch of meow-meows. I mean, honestly, a bunch of little meow-meows, and Donald Trump is a president who has cojones, coming in and just kicking butt and taking names, and kicking butt so badly that you have to take the opposite tack on everything, because you have to do anything you can to create a vacuum of good news, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work because Americans love it when narco-drug boats get blown the bleep up. Yeah, and if there's any stragglers in the water, you take them out too, because, you know, they could get back on another boat and do the same damn thing all over again. So there you go. It was funny. I put up this little meme today with Donald Trump dressed as a magician. It says, for my next trick, I'll make Democrats support the drug cartels. That's how the Democrats are. Oh my God, you guys are so, you will take any tack whatsoever as long as it's the opposite of Donald Trump. And what's really amazing is many of your followers are like, okay, cool, we love the drug boat people. We love the fact that they killed lots of hundreds of thousands of Americans. We don't even care. But you know what? You are just spiraling, death spiral into hell. Death spiral into hell. The next thing now is you're going to defend Donald Trump just trying to help those poor people who have no economic opportunity, but they have to go out and they have to deliver bales of cocaine, and they have to go out and make a living, sending fentanyl into the country. And I know it's killed hundreds of thousands of Americans, but look what Donald Trump's doing to those poor narco-terrorists. There's no such thing as narco-terrorists. Oh my God. And Antifa doesn't exist, but QAnon does. I mean, honestly, you people are just insane. You're out of your friggin' minds. And I love the fact that you just, that you're out of your friggin' minds. There you go. How was your weekend? Mine was pretty challenging and interesting and weird. Had a very nice weekend in some ways. Had a very terrible weekend in some ways. Went down to the wharf in Washington, D.C. In the morning on Saturday, and I met a bunch of National Guardsmen from West Virginia, and shook their hands and everything. I mean, I bet probably couple dozen National Guards troops in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, and then I joined this singles group, which, oh my God, you're kidding me. Wow, I can't believe I spent the money on this group. I thought, okay, they sound like they like to have fun, and then the screening process, they got to go through a Zoom call to get approved and all of this, and I thought, oh my God, they're going to be cool people there who are just like me, and they're very ambitious and positive and outgoing and all of this, and oh my God, I'm going to meet great people, going to go rock climbing and stuff, oh my God. And then we go down to the first event, the biggest event here on this boat show, this Christmas boat parade on the Potomac, and I'm going down there to meet some of these great people in this group. I might even find the love of my life down there. I don't even know. I'm not really looking. I'm thinking, oh my God, and you know what I got? Crazy cat ladies who are overweight and have no social skills whatsoever, and a guy who's a high school teacher with rotten teeth and I think is on the spectrum somewhere. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not this desperate for friendship. And so I did the equivalent of, when you go on a date and you sneak out the bathroom window, maybe you've done that. Maybe some women have done that to me maybe a few times. I did that. They were all, hey, here's whoever, and here's whoever, and here's whoever. And I said, okay, great, let's go look at the boats. And I let them go ahead of me, and I took the hell off. I was like, no, not going to happen. So I would just rather be myself. And then I took the Uber in to Washington, D.C. because I knew parking would be incredibly bad. And by the way, it was a glorious fun event. There were 500,000 people down there. What they've done to the wharf in D.C. is remarkable. They've got a theater there, and Jim Gaffigan's playing there, and other artists. Ray, this artist who I've discovered in the last couple of months, she's going to be there. And then down there, you got the wharf where you can buy seafood. I had some Maryland crab soup on Saturday morning for breakfast. Yeah, I know, that's how I eat. And then walked down there, and I just, for bleeps and giggles, looked at a houseboat. I wasn't going to buy the houseboat. But I thought, maybe in a year when I move out of my apartment, I might live on a houseboat on the Potomac River, because you can buy one for, $100,000, and then you buy the live aboard rights, and you're living in a house for like $1,000 a month in your houseboat. And I thought, maybe I could consider that, but I didn't do that. And then I get home, and I'm like, after having a nice evening, after I ditched the people from the singles group, I come home, and I wake up on Sunday morning, and I go to look for my wallet, and my wallet's gone. Oh my God, my wallet's gone. So I had to. I looked at my wallet, and I discovered on my bank account that somebody had charged something at a 7-Eleven in Texas. And I'm like, well, hell, somebody stole my identity. So I canceled all my credit cards. Had to print off my proof of insurance, had to print off my Allstate roadside assistance thingy, had to do all sorts of stuff and all these whatever to get this stuff. And then I got a call from Uber. Hey, we found your wallet. It was under the front seat of the car. How was your weekend? Oh man, it was. I did get to see a lot of people, meet a lot of people. When I was down on the riverfront, it's interesting because there was this woman, a woman of color, and a lot of times people have been divided by race because of, Barack Obama, and, I'm white privileged because I'm white, whatever. And so this woman walking along here, and she kind of, I guess I walked in front of her, and she gave me a lot of tood, and she said something about me being a white boy. She said something about a white boy, and she's like in her 20s, and I turned around and I said, oh, well, you got a little toot, don't you? And I don't know what the hell it was. Then this other guy overheard me. He's a person of color, and he said, I hear what you said. I think you're whatever. And I said, you don't know anything about me. You don't draw any conclusions about me. And then I ended up saying, Merry Christmas, bye, whatever. I got no time for attitude. But by and large, the experience was profoundly positive. I sang Christmas carols with people. I shook hands. I gave people that I don't know hugs. It was a blast, because I'm full of the Christmas spirit, baby, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. And I watched George C. Scott's Christmas Carol Friday night in my apartment by myself, and you know what? It was fine. I enjoyed it, actually. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. So we got a lot of stuff. Oh, my God, we got some stuff today. Ilhan Omar. Do you know that Ilhan Omar, she's worth $30 million all of a sudden? Did you know that? Ilhan Omar's worth $30 million. It's weird because she said that's all her husband has been making the money. From her husband's, could be brother, I'm not sure, 2 businesses in Santa Rosa, California. And it's weird because all of a sudden they're worth a whole hell of a lot of money. Omar valued the winery they own, I guess, at between $1 and $5 million in her latest disclosure. By comparison, it was only worth $15,000 in her previous financial. She's selling the hell out of some wine, isn't she? My God. Then her husband's Rose Lake Capital. The assets now are valued between $5 and $25 million, and it's kind of weird because in 2024 it was listed as between $15,000 and $50,000. Isn't that weird how that happens? That she had these from $5 to $25 million. It was only worth, it said the company had less than $1,000 in assets the previous year. And all of a sudden it's worth $25 million right in time for a whole lot of Somali fraud to happen in her district. And her to actually have a big campaign, a victory party at one of the grifters' restaurant where they said they were serving thousands of meals to starving kids, and he just stole $14 million. It's weird, right? No, she's freaking knee deep in it, and they need to investigate her, arraign her, put her on trial, and boot her ass the hell out of the country. And I hate to tell you this, the more I learn about Somalia, the more I know that it's the meth lab trailer park of the world. And you can say that. You can say that. A lot of the times they say when, ugly Americans, you're from America, ugly Americans. Well, you know what? A good share of the Somali people kind of suck. They go out, they send them out to countries they know that are very giving with their social welfare programs, like Sweden and Norway and the United States. And they send them to where the Norwegians live in Minneapolis and in Minnesota, and they take them to the tune of billions of dollars, and they send a good share of the money back to Somalia, which is an armpit. I mean, worse than an armpit. It's a butt crack. It's worse. It's a butt pit. It's so terrible. And that's just the way it is. And I'm not going to be torn down for feeling that way because I'm right. Are there good Somalians? Oh, hell yeah. But there's enough of them that are really crooked that we got to start booting them out of the country. There you go. There you go. So we've got a lot of audio coming up on that. Stephen Miller goes off. Ilhan Omar, of course, was on not getting any pushback on the Sunday talks. We've got that. We've got the drug boats. We've got Rosie O'Donnell is just bad guano crazy, among other things, Colonel Tony Schaefer. So buckle in, kids. Get ready for another 2 hours and about 40 minutes of fun. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Excess winning, he is spinning out the drug-dealing trade. In the air, bombs are dropping on drug boats. Venezuelans, they are failing to get fentanyl through. And in most every ocean, you'll hear exploding boats, taking out all their drug shipments. Maduro sad, been hurt bad, soon he will be overthrown. Bombing boats, their drug boats, more will be blown up today.
I trust Pete. My faith in Pete's complete. He's taken out drug boats beautifully. I trust Pete. The critics are never-ending drug traffickers. They're defending. I repeat. blowing up their boats is neat. We got the right man for the job because I trust Pete. Pete Hegseth is a real hero. Proof he did wrong. They have got zero. Good job, Pete. You have pulled off quite a feat. Cutting down the flow of fentanyl, you can trust Pete.
The bum stole my wallet. My wallet's gone! My wallet's gone!
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
Yeah, well, I got my wallet back. I have to wait for my credit cards to be replaced. Yeah, there you go. So I lost my wallet briefly, and then a charge showed up, so I canceled my credit cards, and then I got my wallet back this weekend. Wow, what a weekend. So why do so many Somalians move to the coldest state in America?
Look, based on the records that we already have, and this is a significant undercount, by the way, 75% of the Somali population in Minnesota is on welfare.
What?
But that's likely a significant undercount of just how much of a financial burden the Somali refugee population is imposing on this country.
That is pretty amazing. You better not say anything about the Somali population because you'll be racist and Trump is a Nazi. Minnesota Medicaid launched several programs during COVID, including housing stabilization services, which help disabled homeless individuals, and early intensive developmental and behavioral intervention, which reimbursed therapy costs for families with autistic kids. The housing program was supposed to cost $2.6 million. Last year, it paid out $100 million. Remember when I told you about how the Democrats, they always say they're going to fix stuff, and they would demand more money, and nothing ever gets fixed? Now we know why. Wow, you suckers. $100 million, the autism program, $3 million in 2018. Just only 7 years ago, ballooned to $400 million in 2023. The scammers used stolen taxpayer money to buy flashy cars, purchase overseas real estate, and offer kickbacks to parents who enrolled their kids at fake autism treatment centers. Some of it may have been even made its way to the Somalian terrorist group Al-Shabaab. Unbelievable. Here's a little bit more from the great Stephen Miller.
Based on what we have found so far, we believe that the Somali fraud operation in Minnesota...
And by the way, this is happening in Democrat states. Every single Democrat states. Unbelievable. Just the SNAP benefit frauds are uncanny. And the Democrat states are trying to keep all the information away from the feds. And Brooke Rollins, the Secretary of Agriculture, says, are you going to have to give us the information or you're not getting your benefits anymore?
Is the single greatest...
They're doing the same thing with the voter rolls, you see, because the Democrat Party relies on illegals and dead people.
Theft of taxpayer dollars through welfare fraud in American history. Wow. We believe that we have only scratched the very top of the surface.
And every Democrat, including Tim Walz, and AG Keith Ellison and Ilhan Omar were either on the dole or completely aware. Duh.
Of how deep this goes. And you're familiar with all the scams with pretending that children have autism who are not in fact autistic.
And that also involves Somali parents who went along with the scam claiming their kids had autism. Okay, so it wasn't just the people who directed the thing.
With pretending to enroll people in food programs when in fact nobody was ever enrolled, and engaging in massive fraud, lying, and theft and grift on a scale we've never seen before in American history. The total bill, the total tab for this is going to be far beyond the numbers we've
$8 billion.
Already seen.
Just Minnesota.
Reported. We believe the state government is fully complicit in this scheme. And we believe that what we are going to uncover is going to shock the American people.
Yeah, and Tim Walz is not going to continue as the governor. He will not be reelected, and hopefully that he is arraigned. Hopefully he is put on trial, along with Keith Ellison, along with all the people who allowed this to happen. They knew it was happening, but they rely on those Somali votes. Those Somali votes, it is such a cabal, an awful community in Minneapolis. They vote harvest. This has already been proven. James O'Keefe, he uncovered it in 2020, harvesting votes. The Somalis harvesting votes. They live in their little enclave, these high-rise slums that they live there. And look what they've done. And the reason why they went to Minnesota is because there are so many suckers who live there who are members of the Democrat Farmers and Laborers Party. That's what they call it, the DFL. It's the hammer and sickle party. And generally, no, always, communism ends up being massively corrupt, with the people at the highest levels of government getting rich while the people get poor.
This scandal is going to rock the core of Minnesota politics and American politics. We are going to be able to show through whether it be willful blindness, whether it be deliberately turning the other way, or whether it be direct knowledge, we are going to show how Democrat politicians, Democrat bureaucracies, Democrat political systems, and the Somali refugee population ripped off the American people, stole countless taxpayer dollars, and engaged in
you're a Jewish Nazi
scams that boggle the mind, scams that we can scarcely even conceive of or imagine in their brazenness. This truly underscores the extent to which the Democrat Party has used migration as a weapon against the American people to gain political power at the
This is why they didn't care about all the children being trafficked across the border and all the hundreds of thousands of people who died of fentanyl poisoning.
Expense of American citizens, stealing their money, stealing their votes, stealing their sovereignty. This is going to be case in point for the argument that President Trump has made about why we must stop mass third-world migration into this country.
Yeah, 100%. But you know what that means? Because he said that, you know what it means? It means that Stephen Miller is obviously a Nazi. Here's Ilhan Omar, the woman who actually introduced the legislation to get $250 million, which was pilfered in her district by her voters.
I want to ask you about something else that the architect of the president's immigration policies, Steve Simile, and sort of ruining America. How do you understand this?
I mean, when I think about Stephen Miller and his white supremacist rhetoric, it reminds me...
white supremacist,
Yes, it reminds me of the way the Nazis described...
Oh, there we go. Go to the Nazis.
...Jewish people.
Like you care about the Jewish people. You deny the Holocaust, and you'd like another one.
Germany. And, you know, as we know, there have been many immigrants who've tried to come to the United States who've turned back, one of them being Jewish immigrants. We know the way that people were described who were coming from Ireland, Irish immigrants. We know the way in which people were described back then when they were Italian immigrants.
You need to go back to Somalia. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We are just now beginning to understand how ungodly corrupt the Democrat Party is, and it doesn't end in Minnesota. It's in every Democrat-run state in the Union. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount, up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream Powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code NEWSMAX, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/NEWSMAX. That's shopbeam.com/NEWSMAX. Again, use the code NEWSMAX at checkout. That's beam.com/NEWSMAX and use code word NEWSMAX for up to 40% off.
Oh, there's no place like jail for Kelly to stay. Alyssa Slotkin should be there too. Their sentencing will be a happy day, 'cause they broke the law and they will get their due. I'm watching Jason Crow on CNN. He is looking scared, trying hard to dodge the FBI. Miss Houlihan looked nervous. She was unprepared. I will be delighted when they're all indicted, 'cause there's no place like jail for those 6 to stay. In a cells where all of them should be. A court-martial, it could come any day. Lock Mark Kelly up and throw away the key. I've got a crush on you, Mom Donnie. You're a communist, just like me. Private business, we oppose it. A takeover, we will propose it. Seize your house, take your car. Zoran Mamdani is our new star. The world will pardon my mush, but I have got a crush, Mamdani, on you.
Ilhan Omar found the blueprint pretty early. She's clearly been in this for personal gain. She's made tens of millions of dollars since she's entered Congress. And what do you know? We find that her friends are getting rich in the process too. But like I said, this is intentional. It's by design. Ilhan Omar was the individual in Congress who introduced this legislation that ultimately led to Feeding Our Future being able to defraud $250 million. And you gotta laugh because just the other day, she's complaining, well, it's because we don't have guardrails in place, and that's why these third parties were able to go steal from taxpayers. Well, Ilhan, you were in charge of setting up the guardrails.
Yeah, and they didn't bother checking on it at all. It's like they set it up just to steal, and they did. I'm not afraid to say it. Her husband's Rose Lake Capital's assets were valued between $5 and $25 million by the end of 2024. The previous year, it was only worth $1,000. It's kind of like Stacey Abrams when she got $2 billion from Joe Biden. Somebody, the auto pen, gave her $2 billion. She had $150 in the checking account of the place that put electric stoves in trailers in Georgia. This is the Democrat Party. This is your Democrat Party. Now we know why they've done all of this nonsense to us. And people have got to go to jail, you know. And I'm sick and damn tired of people telling me, well, nobody's going to pay for it. Nobody's going to be going to jail. Bull crap. It's time to start putting people in jail. It's time to start putting people in jail. I'm all about overwhelming the left with joy and patriotism, but I'm also about kicking their butts seriously. This is Senator John Kennedy.
And its leader was a woman by the name of Asha Farban Hassan.
Now, this is there are several different charities there. There's one for housing, and there's one for autistic children. Somalian parents lied about their children being autistic, and for up to $1,500 a child, the scam started small, only asking for $3 million. Then in 2019, it went up, and then it really blew up.
She was also in, by the way, on the feeding of the children scam as well.
$250 million.
And as best we can tell, they approached parents only in the Somali community.
Well, they only approach Somalians. That's weird. You Nazi. Why would you say that? Oh, because it's true.
But once again, they couldn't find enough autistic children, so they bribed the many parents in the community, gave them money to certify that their children were autistic. In the first year, they were clever. They only asked for $3 million. The second year, in 2019, they asked for $54 million. Then in 2020, they went up to $77 million.
What?
And then in 2021, they really got greedy. They went to $183 million. And in 22, $280 million.
Wow.
And in 2023, $400 million.
That is just amazing. And nobody saw it. Keith Ellison, the Attorney General of Minnesota, didn't see it. Now, you can either believe they're the most incompetent human beings alive, or they're in on the damn grift. Of course, the latter, is true. From Wall Street Apes, immigrants from Somalia overwhelmingly rely on government welfare. 73% of Somali immigrants in Norway are on the government dole. Sweden, 64%. Denmark, 69%. Man, they go after these Norwegians, don't they? They do. Those suckers coming from those Nordic countries. They're so generous with other people's money. In America, are you ready? You better sit down for this, because Stephen Miller had mentioned this earlier. 88% of Somalians rely on a welfare program. This is according to the President of the United States. 88% of Somalians on the public dole. And you're a Nazi for wanting to go after the 50% of them who lied to get in the country. And Donald Trump it's Hitler's Germany for going after the fraud and wanting some of them kicked out of the damn country. So clearly he's a Nazi. Here is John Kennedy, just wondering how you could let a couple $1 billion, maybe $8 billion, just from Minnesota, just disappear into the ether.
Well, hello, how could this happen? Why didn't the people in the Department of Social Services and the Welfare Department in state government, when they saw these claims arising, why didn't they say something? Didn't they go out and check these businesses that were supposedly sites to feed homeless children? Didn't they go talk to some of the children and their parents to see if some of the children really were autistic?
No.
Didn't the state authorities go out and say, can you show us one of the homes that you're providing to the homeless people? After all, we're spending $1 billion. Wow. They didn't.
No, they didn't bother checking at all because they were in on it. Somalia immigrants in Minnesota used a random name generator to create fake names of children to get paid. Somali would create the nonprofits, go register with the Secretaries of State's office, create a nonprofit, then file in the Joint Food Program. The day after that, they were able to claim that they were feeding 5,000 children a day. The children didn't exist. They did not exist. They use a random name generator. You got a bunch of these white Karens now going into Somalia businesses to say, we stand behind the Somali people in Minnesota. We stand behind. And they go to the restaurant. And it's interesting because they pay for the food and they never get it. And the guy at the counter goes, well, no, we paid you. We fed you. We fed you. And you're like, I didn't get any food. I paid the money. But well, that's the Somali way. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here is Harris Faulkner talking about how that this isn't ending at just the Somali fraudsters. This is the Democrat Party.
Now investigators are tracking the web of fraud to other Minnesota Democrats, such as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Many of the suspects linked to the scheme live in her district, including a restaurant owner who hosted events for her. He has since been convicted of stealing $12 million in COVID funds.
Yeah, that's pretty brazen, right? I mean, to do something like that because you're a Democrat and you know you're not going to get covered in the state of Minnesota by NPR or WCCO radio and TV. I auditioned up there a few years ago and they shredded me. They said I was right-wing, whatever the hell. I don't even know what they called me. But the same paper who said in the 90s, yes, Virginia, conservatives can be funny, said I was a Nazi when I auditioned there. I'm so glad I didn't get that damn job. But Keith Ellison, the AG of the state of Minnesota, who should have known this was going on, either he's completely corrupt or he's clueless. I say he's corrupt. He says, don't make this political, even though it's political.
But let me just say this. We all want to protect the public dollar. We want to prosecute people who engage.
No, you don't, because you would have been doing it the last 7 years.
In fraud, we are up for that. But we can't do it on a partisan basis. We got to do it together.
Yeah, because Democrats did it. I can't use that word.
We can't use incidents like this to score a political point. We got to come in as a state and say, you will not steal money intended for poor people and prosecute them. That's how we protect the resources of the state of Minnesota.
This is called doing the old CYA, because you see, he's been charged up there for a while, and there's no way you could not know this was going on. When you look at the amount of money involved, the $8 billion, and you look at how one charity went from $2.6 million to $400 million in 4 years for autism, and you didn't do anything about it. The Democrat Party here, they are thick as thieves, and it is worse than you could ever imagine. This is Marge Brennan talking with Ilhan Omar, one of the most corrupt people to ever be in Congress, who hates America, who married her brother to get into the country, who shreds America all the time, does not like Jewish people. She's a complete anti-Semite too. And here she is saying that, the people who are really suffering during this theft, this massive theft, Somalians.
Of the 87 people charged, all but 8 are of Somali descent. And that has added to the spotlight being put.
Yeah, because it's almost all Somalians. Specifically
on your community.
Yeah.
Why do you think this fraud was allowed to get so widespread?
Well, I want to say...
How about ask, were you involved in it? You got the $250 million into your district, and you actually held a fundraiser or a victory party at one of the restaurants that stole $14 million. And your constituents are doing this. So are you involved? How about that, Marge?
This also has an impact on Somalis because we are also taxpayers in Minnesota. We also could have benefited from the program.
You did, and you didn't even have autistic kids, and you weren't even homeless and disabled.
And the money that was stolen. And so it's been really frustrating for people.
Oh, go get them cash. Go get them cash, and Dan, Give them the colonoscopy that they've needed for a very long time. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Bitch.
Here we go.
Listen.
These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. We don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Thank you very much.
That knocking is vehement agreement from his cabinet members there. I just wonder what the reaction is in your district to have that from the highest office in the land.
It's disgusting. It's completely disgusting.
No, not half as disgusting as the fact that 80% of the Somali community is on some sort of welfare, and hundreds of parents and family members were involved in the fraud, as well as politicians. And Ilhan Omar, that woman, she got $250 million pushed through to Congress without even checking to see if the money was actually feeding children, because she was in on it, and she's gotten filthy rich on it. And she needs to be arrested. She needs to be tried, convicted, and deported. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And anybody who took part in this, and anybody in Minnesota who is here illegally or surreptitiously, needs to be booted the hell out of the country. It's time for the welcome mat to be rolled up. The world has seen, the world's assholes have seen that America is kind and benevolent. And a lot of the times those assholes are filled with scumbags, and they send them out like the aliens from Independence Day, and they feed on a society until they've drained its resources and move on. That's the way it is. It's not xenophobic to say that. A good share of the world sucks. That's why so many people want to be here. But you know, it's interesting because Democrats who live here, like Ilhan Omar, say that America sucks. Really? Really? Honestly, so done. This is unbelievable. Here is Steve Bannon. Love me some Steve Bannon. I think he lives here in D.C. I want to hang out with him. I'm sure he doesn't want to hang out with me. But anyway, here he is talking about Donald Trump saying enough is enough is enough. And this is one of the reasons why the Democrat Party, every other day, there's a new scandal about Donald Trump. They're doing everything to take him down because all of this is being exposed. They're in incredible graft and corruption, which will keep them out of power for decades. They see it. They tried anything to stop him. They tried to put him in jail. They tried to take his fortune. They tried to murder him because they knew this was going to happen.
Situation, the Somalians in Minnesota, it's a money laundering, racketeering operation under these progressives like Wallace that just look the other way. Plus in New York City, Mandami, he's a Ugandan Marxist jihadist, okay? Yep. The Muslims are now in control of New York City. Do you see the pattern recognition? This is going to become the major issue. President Trump, the lead story in Daily Mail, lead story in the New York Post, overnight President Trump says, I've had it. And you saw yesterday at the, maybe we have time to play it later, at the cabinet meeting, he hit him with both barrels. I don't want these people coming in the country. I'm not going to allow these people to come in the country. Andrew Colvett puts up and very brilliantly saying, hey, President Trump's not just reawakening, but re-emphasis on this over the Thanksgiving holidays was one of the reasons that we had a game day blowout for a MAGA candidate who, by the way, had spent 9 combat tours as a young man coming out of West Point, where in the Iraq, Afghanistan, the Middle East, with the entire Islamic war we're fighting over there.
Yeah. And if by the way, if things suck so badly in America, then why are you here? Are you tired of this America hating bullcrap? Do you understand why they use words like white supremacy, Nazi, fascist, all of this? Do you understand? Because they're covering up their own malfeasance and their own absolute fraud. We're talking, and it's going to be trillions of dollars in Democrat states. In Democrat, and there are probably some Republicans involved, but by and large, it's going to be Democrats because they're the ones who wanted the open borders precisely for this. Duh. George in California, hello and welcome to the Rob Carson Show. What's on your mind?
Hello, Rob. Yeah, I think that the van conversion from a welcome wagon to a paddy wagon sounds good to me.
Yeah, man. I'm done with this nonsense.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, number one, I want to ask you one question.
Yeah.
I'm also going to throw in that I'm also for the double tap. I'm 100% for that.
100%.
I want to get that up. Yeah, okay. So, number one, who's going to get the ball rolling on, number one, giving Omar a prison sentence, and then after she served her prison sentence behind bars, then she gets deported? Who's going to get the ball rolling on that?
Well, obviously, the FBI and the DHS are involved. We need to, do everything we can to support the efforts of the FBI and the DHS. And this is why Democrats are protesting ICE in Democrat enclaves. This is why they're trying to keep these people from being deported, because their votes, and they get all sorts of largesse to live here. You know, you recall in New York City, they were putting up illegals in $500 a night hotels. The Roosevelt Hotel became a youth hostel for immigrants coming from wherever over the world. Yeah, so the Democrat Party has betrayed the American people, and they know, and this is going to result in them being out of power for a very long time. But as far as
second question,
what?
Yeah, second question is who's going to seize the coffers that the Somalian organization's been stealing? Who's going to acquire?
Well, Scott Bessent is the acting Scott Bessent is the acting director of the IRS, so there's a little bit of that going on. It's going to be a multi-pronged approach. I got to run, brother. Thanks for the phone call. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All righty, kids. How are you? I had a hell of a weekend, man. Woo-wee. Dookie Bear, good to see you. Valentina, you drink it. What up, what up, what up? Dan Crenshaw is a disgrace to his uniform. I agree. He and MTG are both just gigantic. It's not just a Democrats. 2020, the highest level stock trader in the GOP was Dan Crenshaw, the wounded veteran who ran on how he was going to stop it from happening. Yeah. A lot of corruptions, man. Release the pigs in Minneapolis. Sneak bacon into sandwiches. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Right, Rob? Like, don't... Anyway, let's go over to the Facebook. Who's watching on the Facebook? Gail King, what up? Joanne Scheid-Emery, hello. Yeah, 1989, Joe Biden said we must strike narco-terrorist boats. He called them narco-terrorist boats. But if the Democrats didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards at all, as my friend Chris Plant likes to say. Kathy says, go get them. No more Mr. Night Guy or Miss Night Guy or, yeah, whatever. You're right, 100%. Bullshit. Susan Geller, you're new. Hello. I want my money back. I'm from Massachusetts. Yikes. Rob's What in the World is really good. Just wished he was on for an hour. Working on that, Suzanne. I thought the show this weekend was really good. I've got my mojo back after a year of sadness. Because, got divorced and everything, even though I didn't want to get divorced, and had to move across the country with my belongings in my studio and a U-Haul behind my truck. Dookie Bear, I can't afford 1/3 of that for a hotel room. Yes, try living in the Roosevelt Hotel, $500 a night for 6 months for free. And then getting SNAP benefits, and then getting a cash card, and then getting free daycare, and then get free diapers, and get free whatever. Are you kidding me? Such an insult. How much time I got, Brian? So I got an email on the home computer. I leave the home computer open because I want to see what sort of scamming and phishing I'm gonna get, so I can talk to you about WebRoot Total Protection. And I get one this morning. Details available for your auto coverage. And there's no insurance company name on here because I've got an insurance company that I have. It's Allstate. I'll just tell you. And I'm like, well, it doesn't say Allstate on it. And it says here, your profile information has been refreshed. A new summary is now available. Secure Auto Review provides you an organized view of your current plan and helps you ensure that the information associated with your account stays accurate. You know what this is? It's a scam. They want me to give a bunch of information about maybe my car policy, maybe my social security number, whatever, because they want to steal from me. But I'm smart. And for the ones that I miss, I got WebRoot Total Protection. WebRoot Total Protection right now is 75% off. All you got to do is go to webroot.com/Carson. Webroot.com/Carson. Real-time antivirus protection against emerging threats, malware, ransomware, phishing scams, all of this crap. Family protection includes toddlers, students, seniors. Up to $1 million in expense reimbursement for stolen funds and out-of-pocket costs due to identity theft. I lost my wallet this weekend. I had to cancel all my credit cards. That's a physical manifestation of what these SOBs do to you. And you can stop it. Webroot.com/Carson. Webroot.com/Carson. And 75% off right now. I trust them. I love them. And I need a Christmas song about the Somalians from Jim Gossett. How's that?
Have a holly Somali Christmas. Millions you can steal. They stole a ton, nothing was done. Hey, Tim Walls, what's the deal?
You're racist.
Have a holly Somali Christmas. And in case you didn't hear,
Nazi.
Oh, by golly, have a holly Somali Christmas this year.
Yeah, you receive and never give.
Ilhan Omar, she's in on the theft.
I got $1 billion this year.
It's another reason you can't trust the left. Have a holly Somali Christmas. Tim Walls, let it take place.
He needs to go to jail too.
Oh, by golly, Tampon Tim will never, ever save face.
Yeah, Tampon Tim. They've been riding by his mansion there, the gubernatorial mansion, to call him the R word. Because they're calling him Tampon Tim, I'm going to call his mansion the Stay Free Maxi Pad. Because he's staying free, and it's a big house. So Tampon Tim stays at the Stay Free Maxi Pad in Minnesota. Hour number 2 of the show is right ahead. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust NEWSMAX. NEWSMAX.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. Hope you had a nice weekend. I had a crazy weekend. But, ultimately it turned out quite well. If you missed it, I lost my wallet briefly and had to replace the credit cards. And, it's when you kind of, normally I'm very careful. I take the wallet, I put it in a certain spot, and woke up Sunday morning, it wasn't there. Fell out of my pocket in an Uber. And it kind of freaked me out, but the Uber driver was very kind, by the way. He's from Afghanistan. We had a nice conversation. Ahmed is his name. He's got a daughter, he's a really good guy, by the way. I believe he's a good man. He's making a living doing Uber. He bought his own car, saved up the money for it, putting his daughter through school, loves America. And, there are good Afghanis here, even though Joe Biden invited all the terrorists to come with him. So there is that. But I had a delightful conversation with him, and then there was another guy from sub-Saharan Africa. Where the hell was he from? Ghana. He was from Ghana. I met a guy from Ghana, drove me into the city. He was driving a brand new Toyota hybrid RAV4. And I talked to him about living the American dream. Because, the most interesting people I meet are not when I get to New York in the NEWSMAX studio or when I go to wherever. It's the people who drive me to and from the airport. They're the ones who are the most interesting, And so anyway, and Ahmed, he drove 25 miles to bring me my wallet yesterday. And I went to tip him. I went to give him, because there was $20 in my wallet. And I went to give him the money. He goes, no. You tipped me last night. I said, no. You came and brought me this. He goes, no, sir, I will not take your money. Will not take your money. It was really cool. I want to get into the pipe bomber story. Something smells about it. This guy who they busted, I think he's another useful dupe. The kind of like that guy in Butler, Pennsylvania, Thomas Crooks. Mentally unstable, young guy. Allow them to do what they do, and then they can take the hit. They do the dirty work, and then let them take the hit. That's what I think's happening. I do believe it, because it's what they do. It's what the Democrats do. Not the Democrats. It's what the deep state does. Just a couple more things on this massive fraud scandal in Minnesota, and also it's all over the country, by the way. Dr. Mehmet Oz has some interesting stats on the gigantic amount of Medicare and Medicaid fraud in this country. I told you, the United States, deep state, the government, all of these agencies had become as corrupt as the Soviet Union, but the Soviet Union could have only dreamed about $6 trillion to steal. This is why nothing gets fixed. This is why Social Security is still broken. This is why Medicare is still broken. Medicaid is still broken. The infrastructure is still broken. Everything's still broken, because all it is an opportunity to raid the Treasury and enrich their friends. I said this for the last 5 years if you've been listening. We have a bourgeois and we have a proletariat. The bourgeois moves to Washington, D.C. and spends their entire lives telling us how to live ours, and we, the proletariat, get the crumbs. We feast on the crumbs. And I was right. Under Tim Walz as the governor of Minnesota, Minnesota Disability Services, they paused licensing after a 283% increase in new license applications, only a 25% increase in participants. The number of participants in these programs, only 25%. New license applications really almost 300%, because they're just going to steal. Small Business Administration uncovers $1 million Somali community fraud. Somali community fraud. You're a Nazi. Trump-appointed small business attorney administrator Kelly Loeffler took to X amount to report finding a massive fraud of the paycheck, the PPP program. Remember that? When they took all the money from us for COVID, the virus that we paid for, and they created in a Chinese lab and never held them responsible, and they killed our children's education and opportunities and businesses. Remember that? Shut down our freedom of speech, shut down our churches. Remember that? What these bastards did to us? Oh, you can't say that word. I just did. Launched to save businesses struggling to survive the oppressive government policies. Bull crap. Numerous individuals and nonprofits indicted in the $1 billion Minnesota COVID fraud scandal, including Feeding Our Future, received SBA PPP loans in addition to other state and federal funding. I have ordered an investigation into the network of Somali organizations and executives implicated in these schemes. Kelly Loeffler, obviously a Nazi. In a follow-up post, Loeffler said the fraud in this state runs deeper than was ever previously reported. SBA is working around the clock to get answers to make taxpayers whole. People need to go to jail, Cal. People need to go to jail. Here is how this all grew, by the way, according to the American Experiment.
Right. It started out as overbilling. So the Child Care Center might have 60 people officially enrolled on their books, and 30 would show up on a given day, but they bill as if all 60 showed up. Yeah. Just straight up overbilling. Over time, it evolved into a much more brazen scheme where they would create nonprofits, go register with the Secretary of State's office, create a nonprofit, and then file to join.
This happened for years, and the governor and the attorney general and the mayor of Minneapolis and the DFL, the Democrat, Communist, and Labor Party, they didn't even know what was going on. Yeah, they did.
In the food program, and literally one day they didn't exist. The next day they existed. The day after that, they were claiming the
kind of makes you wonder if they let Minneapolis burn on purpose as a distraction in 2020.
5,000 children a day. Their children didn't exist. So you mentioned the spreadsheets where they just used a random name generator to make up names of non-existent children to show to the state. We really are feeding all these kids, but the kids didn't exist.
I can't think of any names. How about put down Luke Skywalker? What the hell?
Food didn't exist.
They'll fall for it.
So it started out as overbilling, and then
Jabba D. Hutt.
It became billing for non-existent stuff. They just send invoices without bothering to buy food.
If you were an AG worth your weight, you would have figured that out in a big hurry. But you see, Keith Ellison is a corrupt SOB. Yeah, he is. There's Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz, he says there have been massive fraud on a national scale involving healthcare in this country. Isn't that amazing? We also know that 35% of the people enrolled on Obamacare either don't exist or don't get benefits. The health insurance companies just get billions of dollars for providing nothing. Yeah, they're on the take, you see.
It's true. A Somali fraud ring in Minnesota stole over $1 billion from Medicaid.
Wow.
How did this happen?
Oh, wow.
Well, Medicaid programs are run by the states, which in Minnesota means the Tim Walz administration. Governor Walz and the state's other Democrats rely on Somali votes to get elected. So they decided to look the other way because they were afraid of, quote-unquote, political backlash.
Yeah.
Don't take my word for it. That's what a Somali-American fraud investigator told the New York Times. Wow. When these scammers realized that nobody was guarding the cash register, they went gangbusters.
Yeah.
One program designed to provide housing stabilization assistance to patients ballooned to $104 million. Wow. When 4 years ago, it was projected to cost only $2.6 million.
I know.
Some of these taxpayer funds may have even ended up in the hands of a Somalian terrorist group.
Yeah. People need to go to jail. There need to be massive broadcast trials in Democrat states, starting with Minnesota. Unbelievable. Oh, but it's even worse nationally. Did you know that there's been $14 billion in fraud in our Medicare system and Medicaid system, and it doesn't even come from America?
Matthew Gagliotti, and I'm the head of the Justice Department's Criminal Division. Thank you all for joining us today as we announce the largest coordinated healthcare fraud takedown in the history of the Department of Justice.
Wow.
Today marks a decisive moment in our fight to protect American taxpayers from fraudsters and to defend the integrity of America's healthcare system. We are announcing today charges against 324 defendants for their alleged participation in healthcare fraud schemes involving approximately $14.6 billion in false claims submitted to Medicare, Medicaid, and other healthcare programs.
Now, Democrat states are withholding the information for SNAP benefits and programs like this. They're withholding the enrollment of these groups because of so much fraud, you see. They're trying to cover up the fraud. They're not releasing who's getting SNAP benefits, which is a tool used by Democrats to load up illegals with free benefits, give them Social Security numbers. By the way, 9 million Social Security numbers given to illegals during Joe Biden's presidency. They did it. They replaced you. Yeah, the replacement theory wasn't racist at all. It was just true. It was just true. It was just true. And here's Ann Lopez. She's the AG of Hawaii. And she says, we don't need to turn over the SNAP enrollment because we're already investigating the fraud. Sure, that's like, Jeffrey Dahmer saying, I'm going to investigate the murders of those people.
We already are fighting fraud and abuse through mandatory programs that Congress has already created. So this idea that we have to provide this data so that they can root out fraud and abuse is just wrong.
No, it's actually right. And all the Republican states turned over the data already. But all the Democrat Party states have said no. It's because you're hiding it. It's because you are criminal. You are a criminal. And there are many criminals in the Democrat Party. This is why I said the Democrat Party is in a death spiral to hell. And the Democrat Party either has to completely reinvent itself or disappear into the dustbin of history. And they're doing the sweeping. They're doing the sweeping. Wow. All right, we're going to talk about the pipe bomber, the Jan 6 pipe bomber. Something really reeks about this. It's not cut and dried at all. We'll cover that in a second. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Testify about Jeffrey Epstein, but I've got lots to cover up, if you know what I mean. They'll ask me about the island, on what went on down there. I could go and tell the truth, but I wouldn't dare. I am dodging subpoenas, and so is my wife. We will try to dodge them for the rest of our lives. We are dodging subpoenas. Comer says we'll fail, because if we keep on dodging, he will send us to jail. We are dodging subpoenas. Could find us in contempt from prosecution. We are not exempt. We are dodging subpoenas because we are afraid. Comer's got a name.
Yeah, Breaker 19, this here's the Iceman. You got a copy on me, Pigpen? Come on. I was just passed by a gang of truckers I ain't never seen before. They were yelling out their windows, "Death to America." Yeah, we definitely got the front door. Mercy sakes alive. It looks like we got us an Al-Qaeda convoy.
ICE just arrested a terrorist in a truck. The fact that he ain't hurt no one, well, that's just total luck. He was here illegally for jihad, he is called. Only a liberal Democrat wouldn't be appalled. We got a terrorist convoy here illegally. They could pose a major threat, a threat to you and me. Terroristic truckers wonder what's in their load. Wouldn't be surprised if a rig of theirs explodes. Convoy.
We'll catch you on the flip-flop, Pigpen. This is the Iceman. Over and out.
Piggy.
Piggy. Piggy. Piggy.
Hey, quick question for all the people mad at Donald Trump for calling that reporter a piggy. Would you have preferred he called her Hitler, racist, rapist, pedo, dictator, fascist? Would you have preferred one of those?
Metallica. Don't forget white supremacist, because that's, Donald Trump's a white supremacist. Well, I guess I voted for a Nazi white supremacist, whatever. Honestly, just so done with the nonsense of the left, tired of this temper tantrum they've been throwing for the last 10 years, and they've doubled down on it, looking for the next thing. Have you noticed lately? A lot of conservative pundits are saying that even Senator Eric Schmidt said the Democrats are always looking for the next thing because they want to come up with something else. Right now, it's war crime against Pete Hegseth. It's falling flat. Because Barack Obama killed between 600 and 800 civilians when he was the president, and between 2,800 and I think 3,800 other individuals using drone strikes. Nobody said a damn thing. So that's the next thing. They'll come up with something after that. It was a shutdown before that. It was No Kings Rally before that. It was Elon Musk is a Nazi before that. It was Signal Gate before that. Affordability. Miranda Devine, who, really had her head upper rear end with a poll of FBI workers who hate the fact that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are shaking up a very corrupt agency. She actually came back to her senses a little. Maybe somebody gave her some smelling salts. Have you ever smelled smelling salts? I've never smelled them before. Mystery deepens as to why it took the FBI nearly 5 years to finally bust the suspected Jan 6 pipe bomber. Well, you know why? Because they knew who it was. This is Ned Ryan.
Either the FBI and the DOJ are grossly incompetent or grossly politicized under Merrick Garland and Christopher Wray. I don't think they were grossly incompetent, Jesse. I think they were grossly politicized. Just to reiterate some of the comments just made by your previous guests, I think based off the evidence I'm seeing coming out, I think the FBI probably knew the identity of the bomber back in 2021, but it didn't fit the narrative. This was narrative shaping to hide the true identity of the bomber because it wasn't the narrative they wanted. They wanted to be able to say this was somehow, they wanted to at least let the false perception out there that this might have been an angry white supremacist who was a MAGA supporter.
Yeah, he wanted to protest the elections.
To help shape that narrative, even though they knew that was false, because let's remind people, Christopher Wray and Merrick Garland were heavily politicized, and they weaponized both of those entities.
Yeah, to go after Donald Trump and his supporters.
Against political opponents. So they don't want this inconvenient narrative out there that it might have been a young black bomber and not an angry white MAGA supporter.
What about a learning disabled one? Yeah, listen to this. Brian Cole Jr. is a 30-year-old loner, lives in his mom's basement, Woodbridge, Virginia. His grandmother says he's very naive. He's almost autistic-like because he doesn't understand a lot of stuff. He's slow. He may be 30, but he's got the mind of a 16-year-old. Yet, we are told this alleged criminal mastermind evaded the FBI for 5 years. You're being played. If you believe this, you're being played. The Biden administration under Christopher Wray may have not wanted to solve the case. Intentional negligence. This, after all, was the FBI that managed to round up and charge 1,500 supporters of President Trump who set foot anywhere near the Capitol on January the 6th, tracking them down through cell phone pings and video footage. Yet, with all this technical ability, Wray's FBI somehow missed the phone used by the suspect in the vicinity of the Democrat National Committee and RNC headquarters on the evening of January the 5th when the pipe bombs were planted. Wearing a gray hoodie, COVID-style mask, seemingly talking on a cell phone while walking around that night less than a half mile from the Capitol. Couldn't find him. Ned Ryan again, ladies and gentlemen.
And I think it gave him cover to be able to go and persecute and prosecute a lot of these other people.
Yeah, who going after Jan 6ers who knew the election was robbed and stolen.
Frankly, were maybe guilty of a misdemeanor of trespassing on January 6th. And that was their focus. Their focus was to destroy political opponents, not to actually get to the truth of them. Yeah, but let's not forget, Jess. Remember those bags of classified information that were at a hidden skiff at the FBI? We don't know what the previous FBI was doing or not doing in trying to destroy or hide evidence that somehow Cash and Dan have stumbled upon. Wow. So it might be there, it might not be there. But just knowing how Ray and Garland operated, I think they probably knew. I think they probably knew pretty quickly in 2021 who the actual bomber was. It just was not a politically convenient truth that they wanted to put out there.
Yeah, and I think they allowed the bomber to do what he did, like they did with Thomas Crooks. Yeah, I believe it, 100%, because that's what they did with Lee Harvey Oswald. You're sounding very conspiratorial. I am the furthest thing from Alex Jones you could ever imagine. Cole's cell phone engaged in approximately 7 data session transactions on January the 5th in the area of the RNC, locating him in the right place at the right time. That information was obtained by the FBI within weeks of the discovery of pipe bombs the next day. Investigators found 186 cell phone numbers of interest and 130 devices of interest. They narrowed it down. According to a congressional report released this January by the chairman of the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees, Barry Loudermilk. By early February 2021, FBI agents had assigned to interview people associated with 36 of the 186 numbers. 98 still required additional investigative steps. A further 51 phone numbers were identified as not needing further action because, curiously enough, the phones belonged to law enforcement officers or persons on the exclusion list. The FBI never told Congress what came of those leads. The story came from Steve D'Antonio, who was in charge of the crucial first year of the pipe bomb investigation. He also ran the disastrous Gretchen Whitmer Fednapping case that tried to entrap Trump supporters into a kidnapping plot of Gretchen Whitmer. He was in charge of that entrapment. He also led the controversial raid on Mar-a-Lago. Wow. June 2023, D'Antonio testified before Congress claiming the FBI had received corrupted data in the pipe bomb case from one of the 3 major cell phone companies. May have been a reason it couldn't find the culprit. Yet all 3 of these cell phone carriers contacted Loudermilk's subcommittee, confirmed that they did provide corrupted data to the FBI, and the FBI never notified them of any issues with accessing the cellular data. They knew. Do you know why I know that? Because I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. Not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just not stupid. There you go. We've got a little bit more on that coming up on the show. And we've got Tony Schaefer's going to be joining us to talk about it, among other things, the possibility of peace in Ukraine and Russia and all of that, and narco drug boats being blown out of the water. Always brings a smile to my face. That's coming up. And this, my friends, is the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount, up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream Powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code NEWSMAX, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/NEWSMAX. That's shopbeam.com/NEWSMAX. Again, use the code NEWSMAX at checkout. That's beam.com/NEWSMAX and use code word NEWSMAX for up to 40% off.
Nicole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the D.C. suburbs, is charged with transporting an explosive device in interstate commerce.
Yeah, this pipe bomber is a black guy, and Jake Tapper said he was a white guy, even though his face was being shown on television. He has since apologized. You see, what I would do is I would have expected that he would write a book about it 4 years from now and say that he realizes now that the bomber is black. You know, kind of like Joe Biden with his brain and everything. Yesterday, minutes before we showed you the suspect's photo, I mistakenly said the suspect was white. Obviously, as the photo revealed, he's black. Apologize for that mistake. That's Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper, Mehdi Hassan, is on MSNBC, and in 2022, he was convinced, oh yeah, the bomber's definitely a white guy.
Jelani, you're a black man, I'm a Muslim. When you consider how black criminals and Muslim terrorists
he's a Muslim.
Are treated, both by the legal system and by the media, and yet the January 6th pipe bomber who laid explosives in front of the RNC and DNC headquarters still walks free. We just learned today that then Vice President-elect Harris was inside the DNC when the bomb was found there. We still don't take domestic terrorism of the far-right white variety seriously in this country, do we?
Yeah, you're wrong. This is the narrative they were trying to cover up, that he wasn't a Trump supporter. But I think they used him. I think they used him like they did Thomas Crooks. I do. I think they used him. And I think he's a learning disabled individual. He lives at home with his mother, not because he's, whatever creepy guy living in the basement. Obviously he is. He's, assembling bombs, but not of sound mind. These are the kind that the deep state like to use to commit acts of violence. Yeah. This is why they love these insane transgendered people who think they can become the opposite sex and then go into, Catholic daycares and shoot up people or whatever. They try to take advantage of the mentally unhinged or the mentally disabled. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Here is Stuart Kaplan. Stuart Kaplan talking about the Jan 6 bomber.
When the leadership...
And by the way, this guy was not a criminal mastermind or genius. Why in the bleep did the FBI not find him? He's not a criminal mastermind or genius. He's not Ted Kaczynski living in the middle of the wilderness, typing out stuff on a typewriter, uncovered by his brother. And a couple keys on the typewriter that gave a signature to all the letters that he wrote on the typewriter. Nothing like that. He was a Unabomber, by the way.
At the Hoover Building during the Biden administration was preoccupied with chasing political narratives.
Yeah.
That's why you had the delay. It was not for a lack of effort from the street agents or a lack of evidence, because quite frankly, there was really a treasure trove of evidence that was left behind.
Yeah.
But if the street agents are told to basically stand down or dismantle.
Yeah, they were.
Because the trajectory of the 7th floor of the Hoover Building is chasing Donald Trump and all this nonsense during the Biden administration and putting January 6th individuals in jail. And by the way, the amount of effort that went into some of these cases, and Jesse, I know firsthand, I actually represented a January 6th individual, went to trial. The amount of evidence and the needle in the haystacks and the amount of resources and assets that were deployed for simple misdemeanor cases would make your head turn around 100 times till Sunday. So the bottom line is they were chasing political narratives. This case sat on a shelf. No one worked this case.
Yeah. Duh. Bourgeois, proletariat, Bastille. They created a Bastille in Washington, D.C., and they put up January the 6th prisoners for 4 years without a trial and abused them worse than you could have ever imagined at Abu Ghraib. And I said eventually the people who put them there need to replace them there. There has to be some accountability. I know several of the Jan 6ers. At the CPAC this year, I remember I maybe you've heard this story. I heard the national anthem by a group of men in the big convention center here in Washington, D.C., National Harbor, and it was echoing throughout, this glorious sound of the Star Spangled Banner. I went over the edge and I looked down at this group of men outside of a pub, and I said, "Who are they?" And they said, "Those are the Jan 6ers." And I went downstairs and I met them all, and I bought many a drink, by the way, and sang with them, including Jake Lang, who was in jail for 4 years without a trial. transferred a dozen times, treated like animals, denied fresh water, denied good food, denied medical care. Evil. Oh, you evil sons of guns. You really are. Here's a little bit more from Stuart Kaplan.
The bottom line is there was a dangerous individual or individuals that were out setting up pipe bombs that potentially would have had lethal consequences. The fact was, no one decided at the top on the 7th floor of the Hoover building that it was important enough to find that needle in the haystack. And by the way, Jesse, to Gene Piro's point, a needle in the haystack, there are cases that the FBI has solved with less evidence, less of a needle in the haystack. That's why the FBI is the best of the best. And so the reality is they didn't care what side he was on. They should have only cared about the fact that we need to apprehend a danger.
They were too busy going after Trump supporters. Wow. Oh, my God. You know what I think? I think we need some good news, don't you? You want to hear some good news? How about some good news? You know why? Because the economy is rocking and rolling. I know that affordability, it's affordability and all that, but no, things are getting much more affordable.
We love to win. Winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning.
Lots of winning.
It's oh so good.
Yeah, a lot of good winning happening out there, including gas prices coming down and all of that. This is John Kennedy. He's the king of colloquial, talking about this buzzword that the Democrats came up with, even though we suffered greatly under Joe Biden's economy. The economy sucked. I talked about this because I was selling cars at the beginning of his administration, and I watched the suffering. I watched and I use this analogy, chicken breasts at Walmart were $1.88 a pound, and then during Joe Biden's administration, they went up to $2.89 on sale, and they never came back down, and egg prices quadrupled, and gas prices tripled, house prices doubled, interest rates tripled. It was a bleep show. It was a bleep show.
You don't need to be Euclid to figure this out. A few years ago, we had 9% inflation. Mm-hmm. Prices were going up 9% a year. That inflation didn't originate in a bat. It was man-made, and that man's name is Joe Biden. Yeah. President Biden was an inflation machine. Now, since then, the Trump administration, Republicans in Congress, and the Federal Reserve have gotten inflation down from 9% to 3%. Yeah. So things are better. But they're not well.
Yeah, they could be better. They could certainly be better, but they were a whole hell of a lot better. Gas prices down below $3 a gallon. Went through the ceiling. And if you don't believe me, listen to ABC television in 2022.
It was 9% when I came to office. 9%.
Inflation was actually 1.4% when Biden was sworn in, peaking at 9.1% in June 2022. Wow. It has since come down to 3.5%, preventing a further drop housing costs. In New York City, one survey found rent is rising 7 times faster than wages.
Because of all the illegals that Joe Biden let into the country. It's absolutely 100% true.
In California, a condo in West Hollywood just sold for a record-smashing $24 million. Yeah. Food costs.
Yeah, they doubled the price of houses in America. And so the median ownership age for ownership of a first-time home went from 33 years old to 40 years old under Joe Biden.
Also playing a role, grocery prices are up 26% since 2019.
Wow.
And fast food prices are up 33%.
3 years, grocery prices up almost 30%. That's ABC News.
3%. Many consumers saying enough is enough.
I don't mean to be broke. But for an 8-count mini and a lemonade?
Yeah.
$14?
Remember that? Remember when fast food prices went through the ceiling? Remember that? When you used to be able to feed a family of 4 at McDonald's for like $20 or $22, and it was all of a sudden $50 friggin' dollars?
I joked that this was fine dining now because I might as well go at a sit-down restaurant and be served if I'm going to pay this ticket.
Yeah. And you want to know what Marge Brennan is mad about? Marge Brennan is, well, I'm going to share it after the break. You won't believe what Marge Brennan on CBS is mad about with Donald Trump. It is a non-factor, and when you hear it, you're just going to go, pow, and I'll cover that in a second. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. County. I watched George C. Scott's Christmas Carol from 1984, made for television on Friday. Had some popcorn and just chilled out in my crib. Yeah, in my crib. Yeah, I'm a bachelor now, so it's my crib, right? If you want to see the crib, you should see the crib. I did a little video of my Christmas decorations. I got these LED lights on I have a spiral staircase leading to a loft that I made into a second bedroom for guests. And you can turn it from red and green, and I did. Just go to my social media at Rob Carson Show. Mary Walter was giving me crap. She sent me a meme that featured Austin Powers. Let's see here. A new Harvard Marist poll released Monday showed President Trump is outperforming Congress by a significant number of points, 19 points, 47% approval compared to Congress. Because, Congress sucks. But I thought Donald Trump was a Nazi and everything. Oh, maybe that's just not playing anymore. Maybe it's all just crap. Marge Brennan on CBS, very mad at Donald Trump because, the economy's doing really well. We've got huge success, and I'll get to that in a second because Black Friday and Cyber Monday were gigantic because people have more money. And when January the 1st kicks in, and Democrats know this, when Social Security recipients don't have to pay taxes on their income, and when people who get tips for a living don't have to pay taxes on their income, and when overtime pay is no longer taxed federally, and when you can write off the interest on your American-made car loan, holy hell. You ain't seen nothing. You know what? Ooh, no, I can't do that. I can't trade in Buck. I will never trade in Buck. I've made a commitment for life to Buck my Bronco. Can they do it retroactively if it was a car built in America? I don't know. We'll find out. Marge Brennan's mad because the economy is doing better than Donald Trump thought it would.
Mr. Secretary, a lot of people are out there holiday shopping. Here is how the president described back in April what to expect from this season.
Maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, and maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally do.
Was the president's prediction then correct?
Margaret, it's actually been a very strong holiday season, and we've seen across all the income cohorts thus far, and so there's nothing to say that they're $2 instead of $30.
The president was wrong to predict lower numbers of purchases and higher prices.
The economy's been better than we thought. We've had
Oh my God, she is B-wording and complaining that Donald Trump said it wouldn't be as good as it is right now. Oh my God, woman. Trump gets surprising approval rating boost as a roaring economy signal lifts the pressure on American families. The president's approval rating jumped from 45 to 47% between November and December the 4th, higher than Barack Obama and George W. Bush. By far, the 2-point increase over the past weeks comes as prices have stabilized. Spending records were set on Thanksgiving, despite concerns over affordability, which is a bullcrap word from the Democrat Party, which Trump has branded a Democrat scam. It is. Black Friday and Cyber Monday both broke online spending records over the Thanksgiving weekend. $44.2 billion spent online alone, according to the Adobe analysis. The Rozier results also appear while the national average for gas prices dropped below $3. It's kicking ass. The economy is kicking butt. I went yesterday to, what the hell is that? It's not Kohl's, it's TJ Maxx. Oh my God, that place is, I've never really been a TJ Maxx guy because it always looked kind of chaotic and weird in there. I go in to buy a new wallet yesterday because I had my wallet, I lost my wallet, and then I had it returned after I canceled my credit cards over the weekend. Oh, what a weekend. What a weekend. Oh, my God. So I go into TJ Maxx to buy a wallet, and you know what I walked out with? I walked out with so much stupid crap that I didn't need. Oh, my God. I bought an indoor snowball fight It's a box that has these balls of cotton or whatever the hell, and so you can have an indoor snowball fight. I got that for like my daughter, and then I got a cotton candy machine, and then I got a friggin' like a Run-DMC style jogging suit in Christmas colors for my nephew. And what else? I bought a light projector that projects the solar system onto the ceiling. And what else? And then some SpongeBob socks. What the hell? What's up with TJ Maxx? Oh my God, I get it now. And then they herd you into this avenue of great deals that is crap you'd never consider buying otherwise. Never consider buying, Ducky house slippers. Never consider buying a 10-pound bag of gummy bears. Never consider buying all the dish towels with the Christmas stuff on it. Never consider buying, and you're right there and you're stuck there until they go, cashier number 8, and you move forward about 3 feet, and then you're stuck with more stuff. And then if you can get through that gauntlet, by the time you get to the cash register, you're going to lay out your stuff, and they're going to ring it up, and you're going to pay for it, and you're going to get out to your car, and you go, what the hell just happened to me? What just happened to me? TJ Maxx, wow. I got to stay the hell away from that place. I went in to buy a wallet. I ended up buying like $140 worth of crap. So anyway, the economy's doing really well, is what I'm trying to say. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. TJ Maxx, I mean, what the hell? Run-DMC Christmas sweatsuit? What the? And you know what? I kind of want to have it for myself. It's pretty dope. It looks like an old Run-DMC. And I've got Adidas. I got some Adidas. Magnetic carts. Let's see what we got here. Computers. Dookie Bear. Bet you don't need any saran wrap. Oh, okay. Ha. Yeah, we did the game. No, I threw that away, but I'm going to do that for my family. Let's see here. Let's go over to the YouTube. America Marcy, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Duckman 558. I live in a small township in Pennsylvania. I voted in all of them. My country was got Trump over the line in 16. Good for you. I love Pennsylvania. I just wish it wasn't run by a bunch of idiots. And I hope Doug Mastriano is the next governor. I really do. Good to have you. Oh, you like the Stay Free Maxi Pad? That's where Tim Wallace lives, in the Stay Free Maxi Pad, because he's Tampon Tim. What are we going to do next here? Inflation, Marge Brennan. Do we need a parody? I think we need a parody. Oh, yes, I got one. Here we go. I got to talk now. But I enjoy talking with you guys. Here we go. A lot of people streaming today. 320. Now, Chris, I understand that similar at swap meets. No, that's not TJ Maxx. You don't understand it. There's no comparing it to TJ Maxx. Run-DMC Christmas in Hollis. I bought this very, very much Run-DMC style jogging suit. Crank this up. At TJ Maxx. Because I always, for my nephew, who's not much younger than me, because my family are like bunnies and my brothers and sisters are much older than me. And I always buy him something silly like a, reindeer hat or something, and some sort of goofy pajamas, Christmas theme. And I got this Run-DMC jogging suit that's got Christmas like Santa and his homies on the back, and I've got Adidas at home, and I'm thinking about keeping it. I'm thinking about keeping it because it's kind of dope. Yeah. So, a lot of politicians should be getting coal in their stockings. Birch Gold thinks it's a smart planner. You deserve silver. I did a little video in Old Town Alexandria on social media talking about Birch Gold and silver, and I flashed that silver coin that I got for investing in gold from Birch Gold. If you want to check it out, go to my social media. Silver's up 60% this year. Gold is up dramatically, up 2,600 to 4,200 last week. This year, unbelievable. And right now, if you invest $5,000 in gold, they're going to throw in a free 1 ounce silver coin. You can keep this. You can give it to the kids, put it in their advent calendar, put it in their stocking, whatever. Wrap it up. Hell, give it as a present. It's freaking worth $60. It's going to go up too. You know? All you got to do if you want information, just text my name, Rob, to 989898, Rob to 989898. Claim your eligibility for the offer. Get lots of free information about gold and Birch Gold, and it's a company that I trust. By the way, you know this as well as I do. It is a company that I trust. That's why they have my money. And it's performing quite well. So, free silver, and only goes until the end, 22nd of this month. So what is it? It's already the 8th. So you got 14 days to take advantage of this offer. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. Text Rob to 989898. So there you go. All right, so coming up, Jack Smith subpoenaed for a deposition. We're going to get into the drug boats. The Democrats have found a new love in narco-terrorists, and they're defending narco-terrorists who've killed hundreds of thousands of Americans. That's how awful and rotten and pathetic the Democrat Party has gotten, and it's doing a face plant. So I've got all of that coming up. New satire from Jim Gossett coming up on the other side of the break as well. What else do I got? And got Eric Schmidt goes off on George Stephanopoulos. Senator Eric Schmidt this weekend went off on George Stephanopoulos. He ate George Stephanopoulos' rear end for lunch. He had to floss after the interview. It was so glorious. That's coming up. Final hour of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 3 of the show. I started preparing for the show on Friday, by the way. It was funny because, I don't know, I even do a show prep for tomorrow. While I'm doing the show, I'm thinking about getting one of these. Hold on a second. Have you seen these things? They're a thing you wear around your neck, and it keeps track of your thoughts, and it gives you reminders and stuff. Have you seen this thing? It's a digital. There's one called the Fieldy AI personal helper that listens, remembers, and reminds you so you can relax and focus on what matters most. I'm just worried that it's listening to every damn thing that I say, like, you know, an ex-wife. Always remember what was said, conversations or transcribes clearly. Really? Do we want this? Is this bad? Is this bad? Is this the Chinese? Always reminder what was said, conversations, transcribes, simple summaries instead of long notes or recordings. Fieldy gives you easy-to-read highlights you can review anytime. Gentle reminders. Gentle reminders. Hey, you left the oven on. Jackweed. Never miss an appointment, impertinent date, or follow-up. Fieldy turns conversations into helpful reminders right on schedule. Peace of mind, no more worrying about forgetting. Stay confident, stay connected, let Fieldy do the remembering for you. I don't know. The response on this, people say it's really amazing stuff, but I don't listen to every word I have to say. Lord knows I could use it, though, because you know I have the attention span of a fruit fly. Donald Trump hosted the Kennedy Center Honors. He just said, screw it, I'm going to host them. You know why he did it? Because he's one of the biggest names in entertainment before he became the president. One of the biggest real estate developers in the world's history, reshaped the skyline of New York City, went on to become one of the biggest media personalities, most popular show in America. The Apprentice, most popular show in America for years. And so why the hell not? Why would the president not host the Kennedy Center Honors? And here he is talking about that, and somebody who hosted it before, and it sucked.
Now we're going to go to the State Department with Secretary of State Rubio and have a special event, something which was never done before, but we never had a president hosting the awards before.
I know, cool.
This is the first. I'm sure they'll give me great reviews, right?
Yeah,
you know?
Sure.
They'll say, he was horrible, he was terrible, it was a horrible situation. No, we'll do fine.
Yeah.
I've watched some of the people that host. Jimmy Kimmel was horrible.
Yeah.
Some of these people, if I can't beat out Jimmy Kimmel in terms of talent, then I don't think I should be president.
That's fantastic. I was watching over the weekend. One of the favorite Kennedy Center Honors performances that I love is Led Zeppelin and Ann Wilson of Heart singing with a choir behind her doing Stairway to Heaven. I cry every time I see that. And you got John Bonham's son playing drums. Oh, my God. And she was on top of it, man. Oh, my God, she was on top of it. Who are the list of the honorees this year? Country crooner George Strait, sometimes called the king of country music. Michael Crawford, the original Phantom of the Opera. Sly Stallone. He was in town this weekend. Holy crud. Kiss was here. I was in elementary school when the Kiss Army struck, and you will never see another phenomenon like Kiss. Never. Kids wanted to dress up like Kiss. Kids wanted to wear the costumes of Kiss, wearing Kiss makeup, and it spanned for generations. Amazing. I was never a big fan of the music. The music is just okay. I'm going to inquire all sorts of wrath on this one. But they were, rock and roll all nights, great. 3-chord Detroit Rock City. I get it. Okay, cool. But the costumes, everything, they were phenoms. Changed rock and roll. And then this, I want to focus on this. Disco star Gloria Gaynor, best known for the song I Will Survive. I want to explain something to you because I did music radio for a number of years. When it comes to breakup songs, men and women are different because women breakup songs are always about empowering, I've left the bastard, or whatever you don't want to call him. I've left him. He's no longer part of my life. I'm going to get stronger. This song, if you put this on at a bar, if you put this on at a wedding reception, it's like Dancing Queen from ABBA. It's catnip for women. It is. It is catnip for women. I know that sounds sexist, but it's not. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. This song is your song. You get together. This is your screw him song. I'm out the door. Just turn around. You're not welcome anymore. Do you think I'd lay down and cry? No. No. I will survive. How little I know I'll be alive. Yeah. Yeah. I'll survive. I will survive. You know I know this song? Because I played it every day for years on the radio. That's why I never really want to hear it again. Nothing against the song, but that's the thing about women's songs. Now let's go with men's songs. You know what the male equivalent of I Will Survive is? Go ahead and think about it. What's the male equivalent of I Will Survive? Anybody know that? It's about a guy getting left, because this is the receiving end of Gloria Gaynor, and how he's got to, get his life together. You know what it is. It's Here I Go Again by Whitesnake. I know what it means. To walk along the lonely street of dreams. I want to be okay. Here I go again on my own. Right? Going down the only road I've ever known. Come on, like a what? Like a what? Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. Yeah. I've made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. Here I go again. There's ain't just another heart in need of rescue. I could play. She's played that song so many times. One time I was funny because I was selling cars, right? And so this guy is on the lot. He's around my age. And I'm trying to sell him this $80,000 whatever the big Toyota is. I'm drawing a blank on it right now. Anyway, so we don't sell the Land Cruiser. So the Land Cruiser, we weren't selling very many Land Cruisers. They reinvented the Land Cruiser because the old Land Cruiser was not selling. It was $85,000. Nobody wanted the dang thing. It looked like an inflatable parade balloon. But anyway, so I'm trying to do everything to get this guy to buy the car. We go out in the car, and I'm trying to convince him with every ounce of my being, you need to buy this car. And so we get into the car for the test drive, and lo and behold, this is playing. And I said, this car is meant for you. Here I go again on my own. You don't need her. Going down you need this Land Cruiser. I'm serious, this actually happened. Like a drifter, I was born to walk. He laughed. He laughed out. It was actually very funny because it just popped up. And here we are, these two guys around the same age, in this truck. And I started up, and the song starts, and I literally turned to him and gave him this look, and he looked at me and went, "Oh God," because he knew it was the perfect song if I wanted to sell him an $85,000 Land Cruiser, and he didn't buy it. There you go. Very circuitous way to talk about the Kennedy Center. Oh my God. Rosie O'Donnell's insane, by the way. I mean, she really is, and this is a mental disorder. What's happened with people and Donald Trump? It really is a disorder. I'm going to show you find this soundbite here of her and Nicole Wallace, who is, another, geez, God. Between them, holy hell, all the cats. Anyway, she was on this Nicole Wallace podcast. And Rosie O'Donnell's been ungodly rich for decades and hasn't had a thing to complain about in her life. She's lived the American dream further than she ever could have ever imagined. She's never experienced any sort of discrimination. She was discovered by Ed McMahon on Star Search, and she's been filthy, rotten rich and absolutely miserable ever since. And here she is talking about Nicole Wallace, about how she needs therapy. And Nicole Wallace, of course, playing along.
When people say I changed my mind. We have to say, welcome back to reality. Let's all be Americans together, right? Because what's happening?
Well, you got to stop calling us Nazis and fascists and white supremacists because you started the division.
It's not only happening to Democrats, it's happening to everyone. And when the Medicaid cuts go in,
oh yes,
old people,
there aren't going to be any Medicaid cuts.
People are going to start to die.
Oh my God.
To die.
Oh.
What he's done yet hasn't even hit us yet.
Yeah, sure.
Right. And if he's not stopped now, we have lost our country.
Here's Nicole Wallace. She's like emoting.
And I don't know.
You can almost smell it.
Nicole.
Somebody emoting here?
How it is that some people cannot see it.
Did she say Nazi?
My therapist said, why?
Her therapist. She needs a therapist. She's filthy rich. She's never worked a day in her life.
Are you so upset? And I said to her, why are you not?
Yeah. Yeah, I have that conversation too, because the gaslighting that I think you're alluding to.
The gaslighting comes exclusively from the left, you psychotic cat lady. Oh, my Lord in heaven. Unbelievable. Nicole Wallace. Yeah. It said that Trump must be stopped. She went on to say Trump must be stopped. Nicole Wallace, my Lord. Crazy, crazy. And then the Trump derangement syndrome goes much further. Seth Moulton, Congress, he said that Donald Trump's going to start murdering Americans. This is how crazy they are, honestly, and I'm just done with them.
I mean, look, the President of the United States and his Secretary of Defense are conducting murder on the high seas. They're committing murder, and Americans should care. Like, look, none of us like drug traffickers, but we have laws that say that drug traffickers don't get summarily executed.
Yeah, we do, because they're terrorists, you see. They've been declared terrorists.
And if it's happening off the coast...
Okay, listen to this, listen.
Of America with people that we don't know, just give it time before Donald Trump starts doing this same kind of thing to people we do know right here at home. It matters if the President of the United States breaks the law.
Go see some therapy, because I'm kind of done with your threats and your inflammatory bullcrap that results in violence. Done with it. Done with it. Done with it. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. There's a lot of politicians that should be getting coal in their stockings for Christmas, but Birch Gold thinks, as a smart planner, you deserve silver. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
NEWSMAX, you like NEWSMAX. I like it too. NEWSMAX has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into NEWSMAX. You're watching NEWSMAX on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, NEWSMAX 2, and you're downloading our free NEWSMAX app on your smartphones and TVs. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why NEWSMAX is the fastest growing news channel in America. Make the switch today.
Fasten your seatbelt, Deep State. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's the Rob Carson Show.
It's really important that people see what it looks like when the full force of the United States military is turned on two guys who are clinging to a piece of wood and about to go under, just so that they have sort of a visceral feel for what it is that we're doing.
By the way, individuals in that boat were not even aimed at the United States. So everything that they've done has been illegal. It's illegal under international law. It's illegal under the Geneva Convention. And it certainly is even illegal under domestic law. It was essentially murder with that double tap strike.
No, it wasn't.
There's no fentanyl involved in what we're blowing up down in the Caribbean, even though the White House and others keep saying that. This is cocaine, which is a problem. But if you really wanted to get after this, you'd be putting pressure on China to stop the precursors, and you'd be putting pressure.
Yeah, they are, actually. That's why they did the trade deal and all that. So, honestly, you Democrats, you guys are just such freaking insane morons. Anything that Donald Trump does, you immediately take the opposite tack, regardless of how foolish you look, and now you just look like idiots. Nobody gives a rat's ass about these narco-terrorists in their drug boats getting blown the hell out of the water. You know what they're doing? They're watching the video and going, hell yeah, America's back, hell yeah. That's just it. You're wrong again. You lose again. We like this. We love it. We love it. We love it when ICE raids arrest a bunch of criminal illegals. We love it when idiots get in front of ICE vehicles and get pepper sprayed. We love it. We friggin' love it. Oh, you're in xenophobe, whatever. No, we like law and order, and we're sick and tired of being bee-slapped by the left in this country. We're sick of it. Don't even care about these narco-terrorists in boats. Ridiculous. Listen to this fool. This is California Democrat John Garamendi, and he says, we don't know if they're drugs in those boats. They could be suitcases, for God's sake.
There's no public information that these boats are, in fact, carrying drugs. You can see some packages in the boat, some, I don't know, maybe they're suitcases for all we know.
Look, there's a steamer trunk filled with cash and Mr. and Mrs. Howell in there. Are you out of your mind? It could be suitcases. Yeah, suitcases are always, in bales wrapped in plastic and duct tape. You bet. My God. Do you just spiral into hell? I told you, Democrats are spiraling into hell. Eric Schmidt, he was fantastic on George Stephanopoulos this weekend talking about the narco-terrorists. They're narco-terrorists. Joe Biden called them narco-terrorists in 1989. And because Donald Trump calls them narco-terrorists now, somehow he's wrong.
So the fact is, George, President Trump has been delegated the authority by Congress to designate terrorist organizations. Yeah. He's done that. He sent a letter to Congress saying he was going to initiate these strikes. We've had regular briefings about it, including from Secretary of State Rubio.
I love watching the boats explode, don't you? It's just so cool.
Including from the high-ranking officials in the Department of Defense.
I did the same thing when they were like bombing, Afghanistan targets with the terrorists in it. When they do those smart bombs, you just follow the camera in, and then all of a sudden, gone.
He's executing those. And so now what we have now are Democrats who have such X-ray vision and clairvoyance that they know the intentions of narco-terrorists on boats, yet we're so blind to see that they had a president for 4 years that was operating as a vegetable in Joe Biden.
He was,
so, forgive me if I'm a little skeptical that this isn't all about politics and trying to take out Secretary Hegseth. That's what this whole thing's been about, George. Yeah. They didn't want him confirmed. Nope. They didn't want a realist in place. Nope. They didn't want to shift from their pet projects around the world and trying to build democracies in the sands of the Middle East by the barrel of a gun. Yep. We have core national interests at stake. the homeland in the Western Hemisphere, and the rise of China. That's what this administration is focused on.
Yeah, we're kicking ass and taking names, man. It's pretty awesome. Did you hear Joe Biden, speaking of pudding for brains? This guy, they wanted to convince us that this fool would be good for a second term in office, okay? Now, you may recall that I said there was no way he would ever be able to complete a second term. There was no way that he would make it as the candidate into a second term, and that they would push his corpse across the finish line. Well, he's getting real close.
We just have to get out. As long as we keep the faith, summon hope, and get back up and remember who in the hell we are. We're the United States of America. That's who we are.
Yes.
We're the U.S.
We're the United States of America. We're the United States of America.
We're the United States of America.
Yeah, America. We're the United States of America.
United States of America. That's who we are. We're the U.S. And there's nothing.
Wow, Jake Tapper didn't realize he had dementia. Here's another one. He was at an LGBTQIAUSTUWXYZ event, and he couldn't remember his historic LGBTQIA plus black lesbian press secretary.
Well, when I took office, I promised to have an administration that looked like America.
Yeah.
I've kept my promise.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like they're completely inept and ridiculously failed at everything, but they're diverse.
And not just for the community, my press secretary, Kareem.
My press secretary, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, whatever the other name was. Yeah, she's awesome. She's amazing. Back to Eric Schmidt. Eric Schmidt. This is when Eric Schmidt decided to have George Stephanopoulos for lunch.
What do you mean you're not familiar with the facts and circumstances of the pardon? It's been well reported all across the country. He's the former president of Honduras. He was convicted of conspiring to bring in 400 tons of cocaine into the United States, also guns and other materials. It's been front page news across the country. Yeah. Aren't you curious about that?
Well, I'm curious about your pushback on that particular point. With your previous guest, you had zero pushback because he's giving the Democrat talking points like you spew every single week, which is probably why your ratings are so bad. But to make the point, what I'm saying is that you're trying...
Oh, that was pretty fantastic. I want to hear that again.
It's been front page news across the country. Aren't you curious about that?
Well, I'm curious about your pushback on that particular point. With your previous guest, you had zero pushback because he's giving the Democrat talking points like you spew every single week.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Last hour, half hour of the Rob Carson Show right ahead. If I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere.
Convicted of conspiring to bring in 400 tons of cocaine into
We're sinking vessels, one's loaded with drugs. Mow the boat down. With U.S. airstrikes to target the thugs. We think it's time to mow the boats down. Narco-terrorism we won't tolerate. Mow those boats down. Stop your drug traffic before it's too late. Otherwise, we'll mow your boat down. Shape up Venezuela or we might attack. Maduro, we will take down. Drug boats you're sending will never come back. We'll sink them all and watch the men drown. We know who you are, we'll mow your boat down. Won't get very far, we'll mow the boat down.
Rent-free, in libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. Rent-free, I'm occupying. Rosie is lying if she says I'm not in her head. simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live.
Law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Law enforcement solves crime, not necessarily prevent them from happening.
Buffoon. Jasmine, she is a buffoon. District no longer exists. Out of the Congress real soon. I'll be glad when she's gone from D.C. No, Jasmine, it will be pure bliss. I know that this may not sound PC. That mouth on her I will not miss. Buffoon. Jasmine is a total fake. Her ghetto accent's not real. How much more can we take? Buffoon. She was drawn out of her seat. Will be in Congress no longer. Her leaving will be a treat.
It's Christmas season. It was good to see George C. Scott's 1984 version of Christmas Carol. I enjoyed it a lot. Turn this up a little bit. It's a little show tuning for me. By the way, I'm going to go see a Christmas Carol in Annapolis this weekend. You know why? Because I was going to go see it at the Ford Theater here. And I asked someone to go, and she said, I really don't want to go. And I went, oh, what? And so I didn't get tickets when they were only $180 a piece. And then I went the other day just to see, just for bleeps and giggles, just last week to see, you know, if there were any tickets available for the Christmas Carol at Ford Theater, which I've been dreaming about seeing for years. $1,200 minimum a piece. So I'm going to Annapolis to see. There's a delightful theater in Annapolis, and I'm going Saturday to the matinee. I'm going to say, I'll give you more details as it goes on, but I was reached out. The proprietor of the establishment reached out to me and told me a lot about this great little theater in Annapolis. So I'm going to go there this weekend on Saturday. And then I'm going to go down to the Ego Alley. There's a boat area where the people with their big boats pull in, and they just go there to be seen. And they call it Ego Alley. I'm going to get a crab cake. Oh, my God. It's just such a fun place to live, guys. I'm very, very blessed. I have never lived in a place that I loved and was beautiful. I've never lived in a beautiful place. I mean, listen, Iowa's a great place to grow up. It is pretty, right? It is pretty. The Kansas side of Kansas City, oh, my God. Not so much. And I've never lived in a beautiful place before. Yesterday, I went down by the Potomac River, and I just went, oh, my God, I can't believe I live here. I can't believe I live here. Walking up and down the street, I'm a ridiculously joyous person. It's ridiculous. People see me like, why are you talking to me? Why did you just say Merry Christmas to me? Why did you? What is going on with you? What is up with you? It's because I had the writing sponged off of the stone 4 years ago. I was being shown what my fate was, and I sponged the writing off the stone. And then my wife divorced me. What the hell kind of sense does that make? What do you mean? I'm dancing around. Go buy the Christmas goose. Get the big one. Send it down to Bob Cratchit's house. Oh, my God, life is so good. Hey, Christmas presents for everybody. I'm divorcing you. Okay, what the hell? Doesn't make any sense. Whatever. That's all right. I will survive. Here I go again. Back to the narco-boats. Again, I'm very joyous. Can you tell? I'm giddy as a drunken man, and I don't drink. I really am. I'm giddy as a drunken man, but I don't drink. It's crazy. It's glorious. Back to the narco-boats. Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank. I wonder if there are any sharks off the coast of Venezuela. Here's what he had to say about the narco-boats being blown up.
And historically, as Adam has pointed out, the Coast Guard...
He's talking to Gabby Normal. Gabby Normal? Gabby, whatever her name is.
...doesn't do that. They board the ships, they interdict the drugs, they collect the evidence, and in many cases, they try these individuals.
Yeah, and what has that done there, Gabby Giffords or Gabby, whatever the hell your name is, Abby Normal? What about the war on drugs? They were ready to give up on the war on drugs. Americans say, just a waste of time. Not so much anymore. Abby Phillips.
Bring them to justice. Why can't we do that now?
So what I've learned from all this, and this is not the first time this has happened, don't get on a boat with drugs in it. You get blown up.
Listen, I gotta hear that again. Listen.
We do that now.
So what I've learned from all this, and this is not the first time this has happened, don't get on a boat with drugs in it. You get blown up. That's what I've learned from this. And I think at the end of the day,
don't get on a boat with drugs in it if you don't want to get blown up. There you go. It's pretty easy. You can find something else to do for a living. You don't have to be a drug mule or a narco-terrorist, for God's sake.
Excess winning, he is thinning out the drug dealing trade. In the air, bombs are dropping on drug boats.
It's raining men.
Venezuelans, they are failing to get fentanyl through. And in most every ocean, you'll hear,
don't get on a drug boat, you don't get blown up. What?
Exploding boats.
Exploding boats.
Exploding boats.
Exploding boats.
Taking out all their drug shipments.
They're just trying to make a living.
But Duro's sad. Been hurt bad.
Have to be suitcases, not drugs.
Soon he will be overthrown.
Let them do it all.
Bombing boats.
Bombing boats.
Their drug boats.
Their drug boats.
More will be blown up today.
There you go, 100%. And Barack Obama did it a whole lot, by the way. Here is Mark Thiessen talking about Barack Obama when he was dropping bombs everywhere, killing, hundreds of civilians. Hundreds of civilians.
Barack Obama had a drone campaign. He fired 560 drone strikes, killed not just terrorists, but killed an American citizen, Anwar al-Awlaki. Did it on the ground, violating sovereignty instead of in international waters. And he regularly did what are called double.
He liked to fire missiles and drones. Maybe he was compensating for something.
Tap and even triple tap strikes. I interviewed David Shedd.
He would do triple taps. If you tap them the second time and there's still one alive, you tap them again.
On my podcast, What the Hell is Going On Today, who was the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency under Obama. And he said, we did double tap strikes all of the time. In fact, we usually had a second predator in the sky waiting for the intelligence to clear to see if there were any survivors so we could take them out.
There you go. That's Barack Obama. Here, Joe Borelli on CNN, an island of sanity in a sea of nutbags.
They're failures. To go back to the point I made earlier. The person who orchestrated Barack Obama's drone strike program, which killed innocent civilians, including Americans, the Democrats actually promoted him in a roll call vote, to the CIA director.
Yeah.
So spare me the holier than thou
Okay,
BS.
spare me the MAGA that you're fighting crime when you're cutting hundreds of DEA jobs, cutting hundreds of millions of dollars from the budget that had.
Do you know why? Because they weren't getting the damn job done.
As community violence intervention that worked in the city of Boston, that reduced homicides per 100.
Oh, nothing compared to Donald Trump sitting in the National Guard and sending the FBI around the country. He brought down crime dramatically, lowest murder rate in recorded history.
1,000%, from 80 per 100,000 to 3. Tell me how that is helping reduce drugs in this country.
I don't know the stats in Boston. I'm not running for Congress.
I am talking.
You know what else? They're also complaining that Donald Trump is firing a lot of FBI agents because, again, they weren't doing anything. The pipe bomber, they just figured out the pipe bomber in weeks. In weeks, when they replace the people who are in charge there. So if you don't do your job, you get fired. That's the way it happens. That's the way it happens. Sorry, sucks to be you. I know. Tammy Duckworth is in Congress, and everybody's talking about this video of these guys clinging to the side of the boat after they initially shot it. And here she is admitting she never saw the videotape.
Senator, have you seen the video?
Just wait.
I have seen the video. And it is deeply disturbing. I am mostly concerned with the fact that we are putting our American servicemen and women in jeopardy here. We're putting them in jeopardy.
Okay, so we go to the end of the question here, Nicole Wallace. Listen to this.
Get this accurate. You have seen the classified video of this particular strike, the first strike, and then the double tap, as it's known.
No, I've just seen what's been available
there
in
you
the
go.
media.
Okay.
I've read the full report, but I've not seen
Whoa.
the actual video.
But I'm not actually seeing the report, but I haven't seen the video, but I read the report, and I know that Donald Trump's a Nazi or something, and there's no reason why he should have done it, because, he's a white supremacist, whatever, Hitler. See, this is why I say conservative comedy is on the ascent, because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. It's almost too easy. It's like picking off narco-boats with a drone strike. Let's take a break and come back, shall we? This is the Rob Carson Show. think today's show was elegantly crafted. Covered a lot of serious stuff, not so serious stuff. First hour of the show, we really did a deep dive on the fraud in the state of Minnesota.
Just hear those sleigh bells ringing and ring-ting-tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
You know what? I almost did karaoke in front of the crowd at the Wharf in Washington, D.C. I was, but I didn't want to stand in line. I was ready to sing, though. I was ready to sing. I don't do karaoke, but Christmas is here, and I was like, I'm ready to sing. I'm ready to sing. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. So coming up, U.S. Attorney for Central District of California says that Gavin Newsom was part of a $24 billion criminal cabal. The homeless money that just disappeared? Oh. Yeah, and the light rail? Oh. It's very similar to what happened in Minnesota. And it's all over our country. It's in Maine. It's in Massachusetts. It's in Democrat enclaves. They looted the Treasury. The Democrat Party must be driven out of existence at this point. There's no helping it right now. They are in the death spiral into hell. There's no fixing them. Got that coming up. You want free silver with gold. How's that sound? Silver and gold? Burr Alive? Silver and gold, anybody? Silver's pretty. It's heavy. It's pretty cool. I got this coin that I've been carrying around with me since I invested in birch gold, and I brought it with me to this delightful Christmas tree in the town square near me. And if you invest $5,000 in birch gold, they're going to throw in this 3 1-ounce silver that you can carry with you. You can give it to the kids. You can put it in the advent calendar. You can put it in the stocking. You can wrap it up as a present, whatever. You can go into a bar like an old-time Western bar and just put it down on the table and say, "Barkeep, give me the entire bottle," just like they used to do. You can flip it as you walk into the casino like you know something they don't know. Whatever you want to do with it, I don't care. But it's free, and it's available right now. Free ounce of silver with every $5,000 invested in gold, and gold went from $2,600 to $4,200 this year, and who knows what it's going to do in the next month. It's remarkable. If you want to take advantage of this offer and get just some information on the possibility of putting some of your IRA or 401k into a tax-free sheltered IRA in gold, text my name Rob to 989898. Rob to 989898 to claim your eligibility for this offer. Birch Gold's free silver with qualifying purchase ends the 22nd of this month. Text Rob to 989898. Here is the U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California.
Of where billions of California tax dollars intended to solve homelessness.
Now, how did $24 billion get spent and there are more homeless people in California than ever? It was stolen.
Ended up. California has spent more than $24 billion over the last 5 years with little to no progress in solving our homelessness epidemic. California state officials failed to provide meaningful oversight over the individuals who received most of these funds, and they had little to no answers to the public's demand for accountability. Well, that accountability starts today.
Come on, baby. That accountability starts today.
Today we are announcing significant developments into our investigation. We're making public 2 criminal cases relating to 2 separate real estate developers who were involved in misappropriating millions of state funds intended to combat homelessness. This morning, federal agents arrested Cody Holmes, a 31-year-old Beverly Hills resident and the former CFO of Shangri-La Industries, a downtown LA-based developer of affordable housing, for defrauding the Home Key program that is administered by the state of California.
Yeah, and you know who I knew about it? Gavin Newsom. You can't say that. Yeah, I can, because it's the same damn thing that happened up in Minnesota. You allow this kind of fraud. Why, if you as the governor, why don't you say, where has that $24 billion gone? Why is homelessness not been cured? What's going on? He never says anything. He never says anything. He doesn't hold accountable those who've devoured $100 billion for this light rail bullcrap, which is shrunk to a tiny version of it, a much shorter version of it, and they haven't laid a single damned rail a track yet. Why isn't Gavin Newsom saying, where is our taxpayer money going? Because he's in on it. Here is Victor Davis Hanson. And Gavin Newsom right now, all he's doing is going after Donald Trump. All he's doing is Donald Trump. That's all he's got. He can't defend his record in California. He's failed. But listen to what Victor Davis Hanson has to say about that.
Newsom right now will probably have a $17 billion deficit. California has the largest unfunded liability of $250 billion. Billion. That they don't have the money to meet. Largest number of homeless, largest number of illegal aliens, most expensive houses, highest gas tax, highest electricity tax, highest sales tax. Not 1 foot of high-speed rail, $15 billion down the rat hole. Solar plant blows up, battery plant in Monterey, remember that? 2 of them, $1 billion. Solar plant in the desert, it doesn't work anymore. That's just $2 billion. Oh, 17,000 driver's license. This is Gavin Newsom. But my point of all that
is a failure.
That is, why then is he funding a reparations commission? Or why does he?
Because he knows reparations are not going to happen. But he also knows that the Republicans are opposing reparations. So if reparations don't happen, and he knows they're not going to, he can say, those damn Republicans kept you from getting your reparations. Duh. The Democrat Party knows you're not going to get your reparations if you're demanding reparations. They know it's never going to happen. They know it. But when it doesn't happen, they have somebody to blame. We wanted you to have your reparations. We wanted it. But those racist Republicans stopped it from happening. Do you get it? Yeah. I want to finish with Victor Davis Hanson a little bit more on the other side of the break. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. There's a lot of politicians that should be getting coal in their stockings for Christmas. But Birch Gold... Streamers. I've been talking a little bit to you guys. I've been super busy today, but I'm quite sure the boats being shot had orders to shoot to kill, not to injure, and then take care of them the rest of their lives. Okay. Hello, Tom K. What up? Valentina says, I voted for him. Are you talking about Gavin Newsom? Did you vote for him? Dear God in heaven. Dear God in heaven. Somebody's talking about Hunt for Red October. I love the Hunt for Red October, except I hate Alec Baldwin. Yeah, it's one of those movies you got to watch. And the other Harrison Ford, Jack Ryan movies, yeah, those are good. Those are good. Hunt for Red October. It's a pity he slipped on some tea. I would have liked to have seen Montana. Yeah, I've seen that movie a few times. A few dozen times. Round Up Pony says, always fun to chat on the Rumbly-Roo. Yes, I know. I always love to have you guys there watching. It means a lot to me. All of you guys, not only on Rumble, but also on Facebook, also on YouTube, also on Instagram, also on Twitter. All different audiences. All of you are, it's important. And I feel like I know you guys. Harry says, once again, I enjoy your show every day. Your play on music, soliloquies, and guy versus girl music was hilarious. And I said, I like to think it separates me from the competition. Rush was an entertainer, so am I. And he says, and hence my day, as did Rush, you are following his footsteps. Yeah, I hope to follow in his footsteps. Nobody's going to fill his shoes. Rush came along, right time, right place. And maybe I have as well. Maybe I have as well. Because I know there's a reason why I did not get discovered until 5 years ago by Chris Redding. And I know there's a reason why we went through the last 4 years together. And why I'm here. Okay. I want to hear the rest of Victor Davis Hanson on Gavin Newsom.
Give $500 million in Medi-Cal when Medi-Cal is broke and he needs $2 billion from the federal government. And 50% of the births are on Medi-Cal, and 40% of the population are on Medi-Cal. And he gives illegal aliens Medi-Cal. He says he didn't, but he did.
Yeah, he
he
did.
said $500 million, and now it's gone. But does he ever understand that he has a $17 billion deficit looming? Maybe that was the reason why. If you have the highest income taxes and the highest sales taxes and the highest gas taxes, you would think that you would be flush with cash.
You'd think.
No, he's going to run for president. I don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to say, I'm going to do for California? I'm going to do for America what I did for California? I was just looking the other day what he's been saying.
Yes, what?
Here's my plan to lower electricity. Here's my plan to lower gas.
Okay.
Here's my plan to build 6-lane freeways and stop the carnage. Here's my plan to address high-speed rail boondoggle. Here's my plan to deal with the most homeless in the nation. Here's my plan to lower sales tax.
He's done none of that.
This is my plan to make housing the most expensive per square foot in the country. No, I'm going to hit Donald Trump in the mouth.
Boom.
He's a bully.
There you go. That's his plan. That's why he's so vitriolic with regard to Trump, because he knows that he is a terrible, corrupt governor. And Democrats, because you guys are all about as shallow as a bumper sticker, you're like, oh, he hates Donald Trump. We'll vote for him, even though he destroyed California. And Tim Walz is really smart. He's real smart. I want to be smart like Tim Walz. That's your Democrat Party. You've got a terrible failure of a governor, with veneered teeth. And slick back hair, and he's handsome. And because he hates Donald Trump, he's fighting Donald Trump. I'm gonna vote for him. Oh, you people! I got to tell you, we got a president of the United States who's kicking butt, and I'm going to tell you, when the big beautiful bill kicks in January, the already meteoric growth of the economy and the success of the country is going to go into light speed, and there's nothing the Democrat Party can do about it. That's why they dwell on negativity. That's why they fall in love with drug boat captains and the illegal aliens. That's it. That's all. That's that. Today was an epic show. I would encourage you to go and download the podcast and share it with others. Usual podcast platforms. Look up Rob Carson Show if you would. In the meantime, God bless you, America's founded Donald Trump and his glorious administration. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and until tomorrow, which is Tuesday, don't catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is NEWSMAX. It's